You say, well, everybody thinks. No. Understand, mental activity does not constitute thinking. You have 5 senses. You can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. When any of those 5 senses are affected, it causes mental activity. That is not thinking. It causes pictures to fly in your mind. That is not thinking. If you heard a siren in the background right now, you might see a fire truck or an ambulance on the screen of your mind. That's not thinking. You have higher faculties. These higher faculties, most people know little about. Oh, they hear the word every now and then. You have perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, intuition. These higher faculties are what literally separate us from all the rest of the animal kingdom. All the rest of the little animal kingdom, they're completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are totally disoriented in our environment. We're totally disoriented. That is because we have been given the godlike ability to create our own environment. Charlie Tremendous Jones was a great man, just a phenomenal public speaker, great teacher, and always promoting books. He said that he believes that we're the composite of the books we read and the people we associate with. I'm inclined to agree with him. Well, as you start to listen to Earl and The Strangest Secret, a lot of things started to happen to me. And it changed all kinds of things in my life. Now there's the 2 men that both ended up being mentors of mine because I worked with them. I worked very closely with them, but it was as a result of me listening to this recording. I was listening to this recording and I thought, it would be phenomenal to work with them. Well, it was in 1966. I went to visit them. And I decided I want to work with them. And you see, it was what they would teach me, what Val would teach me, that helped me understand how I had done what I did. You see, Ray Stanford sat down with me and he put an R on a sheet of paper. Then he put 3 letters down beside it, 2 H's and a W. Now he said, Bob, let the R represent results, and let the 2 H's and a W happiness, health, and wealth. Then he asked me if I thought he was a happy person. I said, yeah, he seemed pretty happy to me. He said, did you ever see me sick? I had to admit I hadn't. He said, did you ever see me when I was broke? I had to admit I hadn't. This guy always had money on him, quite a bit of it. He said, Bob, you're one of the most miserable people I've ever met. Now this is in 1961. He said, you're always sick. He said, you don't have a terminal illness, but you've always got a cold or a headache or something. And he said, you're always broke. Now, he was so right. I was earning $4,000 a year. I owed $6,000. Now, I want you to think of this. At the time, I had 2 months high school. I had no business experience at all. I was 26. I had left school when I was 15. I worked all over the place. I was in the Canadian Navy. I worked in bars and in factories. Always dumb jobs. No wonder I was unhappy, sick, and broke. I studied nothing. I read nothing. He said, do you ever read anything? And I said, no, I can't read. And that's when he introduced me to this book. And he said, Bob, Napoleon Hill studied 500 of the world's most successful people over many, many years. And it was at the counseling of the richest man in the world that he did that, Andrew Carnegie. And he found there was a golden thread running through their life. And he wrote The Laws of Achievement. I have The Laws of Achievement right here. Pull those 4 over a bit. There they are right there. There's 8 little books. And that was The Laws of Achievement. Now he wrote those at the request of Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie said it was a shame, like people like himself, who was the wealthiest man in the world, is going to their grave with all his knowledge locked up in their bones. He said nobody's ever organized the laws of achievement. And as a result, most people never achieve very much. And he got Hill to do it. Well, after he did it, then this book, The Laws, or Think and Grow Rich, came out of that. And this is what I was really into studying. Okay? You know that within a year, my income was at $175,000. Now, at the end of this meeting, Arash is going to be giving you a directive. And what I would suggest you do is listen very carefully to him. This is a goal card that I have my goal written on. I carry this in my pocket. Every time I put my hand in my pocket and touch that card, the picture that's in my mind flashes on the screen of my mind. I painted the picture in words on the card, and it's tucked into cells in my brain. Well, that's how I went from earning $4,000 to $175,000, and I did it in less than a year. This is no formal education, no business experience. I had no idea what I was doing. In less than 5 years, I was over $1 million a year. I had business operating in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, Atlanta,